Row 18, plot 20.
Hey everybody, welcome to Now It's Dark. I'm Jim, and today I'm doing a movie review on a summer slasher called Pool Party Massacre. This movie is a 2017 movie. It's an hour and 21 minutes, and it scores a 4.3 on IMDb. This movie was recently reviewed by a channel, Shelly K, and I will link that in the description box down below. And we had a little exchange in her comments, and she said she would like to hear what I thought of this movie. I couldn't remember that I had seen it before, but what better way to spend a cold weekend afternoon in the winter than watching a summer pool party? This was written and directed by Drew Maverick, and he also he stars in the movie as well as a character named Blaine Winthorpe. There is the main cast: Kristen Noel McCusick as Blair, Margot Neme as Nancy, who has a really nice accent, by the way. Paul Kurd plays Ralph. Destiny Faith Nelson as Jasmine. Alexis Adam as Tiffany. Crystal Stoney as Brittany. And Jennifer Maverick as Kelly. And I can only assume that she is somehow related to Drew Maverick. This is a horror comedy, so whenever I see tags of horror comedy, I know that I'm in for a specific tone, so I go into it expecting nothing more than that, and this is one of those movies where you should not expect anything mind-blowing. It's also, indicate the theme of the movie indicates, pool party, that you're going to see TNA and, girls and whatnot, promiscuous drinking and sex and then the kills. And this movie delivers on all of that. It opens with a pre-credit kill, which is pretty creative. And that actress who plays Miss Stevens is Leanna Vamp. She's pretty recognizable. I did recognize her right away. I couldn't remember at the time for what, but she's been in probably several of these B/C type movies. And she gets a nice kill right off the bit, right off the, before the credits. And then the credits open, and it's a fun 8-bit animated montage opening. And then we're introduced to Blair and her friend Nancy having an exchange with Blair's parents in the driveway as they are about to go away on a trip. And something that struck out to me was, I did a little math, and between conversation between Blair and Nancy, it would appear that the girls are supposed to be like 16, 17-ish. And that's a common problem with these types of movies. Obviously, these actors and actresses are way older, maybe twice the age of the characters that they're playing. So I wished that they would have maybe just established that they were like late in their college years. That would have been an easier pill to swallow. Again, that's kind of nitpicky. Not really a major factor for this type of movie by any means. After the parents go away, obviously, there's going to be a party, and we get a little bit of Blair character building, where we really see what a spoiled, rich girl she is, and at the same time, we also get Nancy as kind of the outsider of the group of friends. We get a generic try-on haul of bikinis and pool wear from Blair, and while that's happening, we start to get some new characters coming. Some of the friends show up, so there's like a group now of about 6 girls, and they just do their montage of developing how all of them are just spoiled, rich LA girls. And that's where this movie was filmed, actually, on a I think I read it was a $3 million budget. Nah, that could have been something else. So it was filmed in Las Vegas, Nevada, but I think that they're supposedly in LA. Not really sure. Doesn't really matter. So there's, the girls are all each slowly picked off one by one. One of the girls invites her boyfriend over, and he brings a friend. And the friend is even older than the rest of them, but they do acknowledge that in the movie. He's got some pretty funny bits. I think he's more of the comedy part. There are some interesting, creative, if you're listening to the dialogues, not even just with this character. His name is Clay. Clay was played by Nick Byer. He introduces a Fight Club, Ferris Bueller conspiracy theory about Ferris Bueller, which is actually a thing. So it was kind of funny that they talked about that. But he also had some like Dirty Sanchez jokes, and it was just kind of like over the girls' heads. There was also a clever use of a line in the very first kill at the beginning of the movie before the credits that comes back and is spoken by Clay, and I think it's those are lines that sometimes are just missed in movies like this. But Drew Maverick, when he wrote this, or I think I'm saying that wrong. It might be marvick, Marvick, not Maverick, marvick. At any rate, there's some creative lines that go missed in movies like this. The kills are really slow and methodical. Like the actual actions of the killer are pretty slow. They do a creative thing where he returns the weapon or tool that he uses back to the place that it came off of a tool wall, like a standard pegboard tool wall that has the marker outline of whatever tool is supposed to go there, so it gets returned to its proper place. The girls are not, overly attractive. They're somewhat attractive. The one character, Jasmine, has a kind of funny line. She's African American, and she gets alcohol spilled on her, and she makes a joke that she hopes it doesn't react to her self-tanner, and that just was kind of weird, kind of funny at the same time. There are definitely some boobs in the movie, but not enough. There's not enough boobs and sex. It's too little and too far between. And the same can be said about the kills. The kills, there's no suspense building to the kills. Like, it's so obvious, like each one of the characters goes off to do something by themselves. And the way that the film is edited is that right before that you see the killer take whatever next tool he's going to use off of his tool wall. So you know that that's the tool that's going to be used to kill the person that just decided to go off on their own. So that's not very clever. It's not very suspenseful. We obviously don't care about any of these characters. Maybe Nancy at the most. So yeah, kind of anticlimactic. We get through the whole killing of just about everybody. There is a very anticlimactic killer reveal, and honestly, it's not hard to figure out who the killer is based just alone on the body. Throughout the movie, the killer never has their upper half shown, and like that's kind of a giveaway when you're introduced to the different characters in the movie. So I guess that wasn't what the movie was relying on, was the reveal of that, but there is a twist after the reveal that I think is supposed to be the shock, but I didn't find it to be very shocking. So the kills, like I said, they're slow. There's some overacting involved with the kills. And other than a few creative lines, this movie is very slow and not very interesting, unfortunately. And it has the recipe for a movie that I would have thoroughly enjoyed, but unfortunately I didn't. So yeah, not really a lot to say about this. You can watch this on Tubi, if I forgot to mention that. 4.3 rating on IMDb. Might be a little high. I don't know if, people are giving like extra credit for a couple of sets of boobs in the movie. There's a shower scene, and typically I do appreciate movies that have a gratuitous shower scene. But that's really not even enough to save this movie. But some of the one-liners that I thought were funny was "I may be crazy, but I'm not a slut," and that's into context if you do watch this movie. And then the tagline of the movie itself is "Worst pool party ever," which is said by the final girl, and I'm not even going to tell you who the final girl is, but you could probably figure it out. Yeah, so leave your comments down below if you have seen Pool Party Massacre, and let me know what you thought. Or if you have any other movie recommendations similar, and I'll give them a look and maybe do a review on those in the future. Have a great day.
So